welcome back to my channel. My name is Belgica and I am a local actress here in the Bay Area, and I make acting related videos every Monday and Thursday. And today I have Jackie with me. Thank you, Jackie. Jackie was in Stranger Things, and I made a video on how to be an extra, and then a lot of people have been commenting how do you audition for it? And my short answer was get an agent, because they're not going to just post on Backstage or whatever. So I wanted to talk to Jackie and ask her how she did it, since she was on Stranger Things. So Jackie, if you just want to share a little bit of what you did to get on Stranger Things.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Jackie Dallas. Belgica, thank you so much. This is so awesome. I've been following your channel for a while and it is so great how it's been building. So yes, okay, so let's get right into it. How to get speaking roles on shows like Stranger Things. There is a long and convoluted answer, but the short version of that is you have to have an agent. A lot of these bookings go through auditions that are submitted directly to agencies and managers. If you're a working actor, you probably have websites such as SF Casting, LA Casting, Casting Networks, Actors Access, and on there's a lot of great opportunities to sign up for, different types of acting work. But you'll notice there are no Hollywood castings usually on those websites, and that's because it all goes directly to the agents and directly to the managers. So the short answer is you want to build your career to a point where you can get representation so that you have an agent or a manager who submits you for these things, and once they do, you audition, eventually you'll book a role and you'll get on television and it'll be awesome.
Yes. So how about you? What was your process for Stranger Things? I know you were in season 1, so it wasn't like, oh my god, I can't believe, this show, because you didn't know what it was going to be. So how was your process? Did you do a self-tape audition, in person? Which agent got that audition for you?
Stranger Things films in Atlanta. It's part of the Southeast market. And the Southeast market, one of the things that they are known for is they are a self-tape market, which is amazing because you can submit from virtually anywhere in the country. But you still need an agent or a manager to represent you in that particular market. So for me, when I got the audition, it was under a code name. It wasn't called Stranger Things. And even if it was a brand new series, so no one had ever heard of it before. It was a small co-star role. You guys have seen the show. It's just one scene, simple and done. And I did a tape audition for the first round. Typically, depending on the show and how big the role is, sometimes they'll book you straight from tape. On this particular one, they did a callback, which was also on tape. So they gave me some directions, asked me to retape. They added in a second scene for me that actually ended up not making it into the final, but just kind of like testing me out, you know what I mean? So I did that, and then I want to say maybe a week or two later, I found out that I had booked it, and it was just a whirlwind of figuring out how I was going to fly out there, where I was going to stay, and memorize my lines, of course.
Yeah. And I a lot of people that watch the videos that I've done on how to be an extra will ask me like, oh, I live 18 hours away, I want to be on it so bad. And I always try to emphasize, like, being an extra is not really being an actor, really. It's more of taking direction well and like modeling almost, because you are expressing yourself without speaking. And on top of that, they're most likely paying you the bare minimum. That's like whatever is legal in in that state or that city. So I always tell them they don't pay for travel. They are not going to pay for like all the nines, but for you, for that speaking role, they did pay you, right, to like fly out there and to stay?
Yes. So anything that's considered a principal contract, anything that's a speaking role, and your contract will have it written out. It's not like you're an extra and you get to blurb something out and they keep it. It's right. You've auditioned for it. They are hiring you as a principal actor. Your billing will be, either a series regular, or a guest star, or a co-star, or if a movie lead, supporting, featured. That is paid, and this is a SAG production, SAG-Aftra production, so they pay scale, which is just under $1,000 a day, which is pretty amazing. Yeah. Granted, working those kind of days are few and far between in the year because you spend most of your time auditioning for projects. Right. But when you do get it, they do pay you for it. Background work is an interesting thing. I feel like, since you brought it up, I'll just touch upon it. I feel like a lot of actors get their start doing background. You know, it's one of those things that's readily available. They cast you off of a headshot or a photo or a selfie if you're not even, you know, at headshot level yet, but you can hit the ground running as a background actor. And I think every actor who's starting out and wants to eventually make it into TV and film, if you want to try background acting, go for it, because it's going to teach you a lot about set etiquette, the way things are run, the terminology. It's not as simple as lights, camera, action, right? There's a whole set of words and commands and directions that go in from, you know, from start to finish. So it's going to teach you a lot about that, as well as showing you on a professional level production, how long things actually take, how tedious being an actor can actually be. It's not this life that's just so glamorous and, oh, this is my trailer, and, you know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. So knowing what that entails, I think, is a really, really valuable experience. So if you're starting out, do background work, just kind of understand that there's a time and a place for it, and that time and place is usually very early on in your career. Once you get later on, once you kind of figured out how things work, treat it as the paycheck if that's what you're doing, but know that it doesn't belong in your resume. It's not going to get you in the door for any auditions. It can help you network, certainly. You know, you're meeting other actors in the area and, you know, picking each other's brains and figuring out what works and what doesn't work, especially when it's market specific. But at the end of the day, background acting is just background work. And when it comes to speaking roles, it's not necessarily going to help you with that.
Right. Yeah, I recently made a video on how to be a core extra for 13 Reasons Why, because I have a bunch of friends who were core extras, and just like meeting people on set, a lot of them are just like burnt out from being an extra. A lot of them are like, I thought I was gonna get a speaking role from this, and one of my friends did get an audition from being a core extra because it just made sense in the story. But again, that's like really rare. It's very rare that they're gonna be like, we want to give you a line, you know? Like the more guaranteed way is by having an agent, having training, which a lot of people just want to bypass. They're like, oh, I'm naturally talented. I'm like, yeah, but you still need technique and discipline and etiquette and know all the terminology, you know? So I do treat being an extra as a paycheck, because 13 Reasons Why is in town. So like, why not, do something to make money? And also just meeting other people and just getting to know like the community of actors around here. And of course, sharing my YouTube channel when I'm on set. I'm like, oh, do you actually want to do some acting, not extra work? Here, go to my channel, and these are where I get my like commercial stuff, because in the Bay, there's just a lot of commercial stuff. Thanks so much for like telling us the story about how you got on Stranger Things, which is so cool. And you're going to be at Comicon.
I will, yes. So Silicon Valley Comic-Con coming up. I will be there on Saturday. I think it's the 17th, Saturday the 17th. I have a panel called Indie Filmmaking in the Bay. I'll be there with Eduardo Castrillo, who is a director and producer in the Bay Area. He has made, I think, 6 feature films that are in various levels of production. Many of them are out on Amazon Prime, yada yada. And Tim Morrill, who is also a director and producer in the area. All around good people, good filmmakers, indie filmmakers. That means we wear all the hats, and we'll be talking about how to make films in the Bay, and I hope you guys come out and check it out. It'll be 10:30 a.m. in room 111.
And then you also made a film that's on YouTube, right? I'll go ahead and put the link in the description so people can check that out as well. That is so good. The production, the acting, so good. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me.
And then, so if other people wanted to get in contact with you, what can they search for? And also tell us about your consulting business that you have for actors.
Sure. So I have a consulting business that I do on the side. It started out in the Bay Area just because I found that, like you said, there's a lot of people who are just burnt out from not being able to progress to the next level of their career. And it's like you feel like you're doing everything right, and maybe you are, and you're a hard worker, and you just need to kind of figure out how to get from here to here, right? So I have a consulting business, 90 minutes, an hour and a half, but I don't watch the clock. I mean, it runs 2 hours all the time. And we go over your career goals because everyone is different. Everyone's goals are different. We talk about your materials from your headshots to your resumes to your demo reels, any links, any profiles, any casting stuff, websites, your social media. We talk a little bit about anything, everything, whatever you have questions about, I answer. And this is a service that I provide now remotely because I live in Los Angeles, or if you live in Los Angeles, I can meet you in person. But I do offer it over Skype, over FaceTime, so it makes it really easy and convenient. Information and links will be below. So on the Facebook consulting site, when you get onto it, there's a little book now button on the side, and then there's a little section for notes, and you can put in the promo code, and we will take it from there.
We have a promo code if you guys want to get 15% off from now until September 30th. You can contact Jackie and she can help you out with your career and any advice she can give you. Oh, I was going to ask you a question. Recently, I've been getting a lot of comments from people that are like, I live in Michigan, I live in Croatia, I live in this place, I live in in France, but not anywhere near a big city like, Paris or whatever. Could you still be able to consult them and help them out in some kind of way?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the only limitation is we just got to find a time where neither of us are sleeping.
Right.
And I only speak English, so that might become a challenge. But if that is something that you guys are open and amenable to, disclaimer, I'm not super familiar with markets outside of the U.S., but if potentially, trying to get either remote representation or moving to, New York or Los Angeles or Atlanta, if that's something that you'd be willing to consider, absolutely, I would love to talk to you and work with you.
So thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we can do some more videos in the future. Thank you, Jackie. Please make sure to everybody to look down in the description for all the links we talked about. And at the end of every video, I feature another channel, and of course I'm going to feature Jackie for this video. Go ahead and check her channel out. Check all of the cool stuff she's been in. If you would like to be featured on my next video, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you, Jackie.